Hello Stock Fox family, I'm Stock Fox and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about AMC and Hycroft mining. Before we get started, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, sell, hold, or trade any stock or asset. Now the question out there right now is why would a movie company, AMC, buy a mining company, Hycroft? The two just really don't add up. So if you have thoughts like I had thoughts, and you want to get those questions answered, well, you come to the right place. We will certainly get those answered in this video. So let's take a look. As you can see right here, it says Hycroft Mining CEO talks AMC investment, unlocking value for shareholders, and what's ahead. So let's take a quick look here. I'm not going to read everything to you. I'm just going to kind of highlight this just so that we can kind of get a feel for why these two things actually transpired, how AMC got together with Hycroft Mining. It says here that AMC Entertainment Holdings and Corp investment in gold and silver miner Hycroft Mining Holding Corp has already been a huge success. Well, in a few minutes, we're going to take a look at why that may or may not be true, and I'll let you be the judge. Now, according to AMC CEO Aron, it says, how did the movie theater chain come to partner with a precious metal company? It says, Adam and I have mutual colleagues who introduced us. And the I part is Diane Garrett, who is also the CEO of Hycroft Mining. It says that he had a similar liquidity issue, he meaning the CEO of AMC, when COVID hit. So as you can see here that there's something brewing already, which is that AMC, if you remember, almost went bankrupt right when COVID hit, due to the fact that there was no people basically going to the theaters. There was really so basically everything was on lockdown. AMC basically was losing money, and also Hycroft Mining, as she's saying, that they both had a similar liquidity issue, obviously had the same thing going on with their company as well. Prior to or after COVID hit them. Now, it says the company's main asset is mining, which still existed. Hycroft was met with capital challenges during the pandemic, similar to AMC, she said. So we sort of connected through several conversations, and the rest is history. Okay, so this is sort of how all of this came about. It looks like there was a mutual friend that brought the two parties together doing a conversation. Okay, so following AMC's investment, the company's balance sheet is much stronger and the liquidity problem is off the table. So it seems to me that AMC investing in Hycroft Mining has put them in a much better situation than they were prior to meeting AMC and prior to that investment. She says now we're able to really turn our attention to what we started last year, which is really unlocking the value of the world-class asset. Okay, so that's what the Hycroft CEO is saying here, and what she means by that is that there was a lot of unfinished business before the stock price tumbled for Hycroft Mining, and now all of a sudden this influx of cash flow from AMC into Hycroft Mining has basically opened up endless possibilities for them to basically get those projects off the ground. So let's take a look here. And it says right here, Hycroft Mining Corporation stocks increased by 80% after AMC Entertainment's announced it was going to purchase 22% of Hycroft Mining. Okay, so I want to take a quick look here before we go any further at a chart. And you can see right here, Hycroft Mining was trading on March 7 at 33 cents a share. Okay, so that was basically last month. So just less than 30 days ago, this particular stock was trading at 33 cents a share. And it's already trading now at $2.16 a share. We're going to jump back into this in just a moment, but I just kind of wanted to just give you some idea as to why this was a big win for Hycroft Mining already to this point, just less than a month later. All right. So let's go ahead and finish looking at what's being stated here. It says Hycroft stock went up 80%, which we just saw how it went up more than 80% on trading. closed that same day at $1.39 a share. AMC stock, on the other hand, was up 1.3%. So they got a slight boost from it. It looks like stockholders were basically saying to AMC, we like to move. Now, I got questions about the move, and I'm sure you do too, and hopefully we're going to get those answered for you. Now, it says AMC will receive 23.5 million or 23.4 million additional warrants in Hycroft valued at $1.07 per share, as well as the right to appoint a representative to the Hycroft Board of Directors. Now, you're probably asking exactly what does it mean when someone say warrants? Because usually we deal in stocks. Well, it's actually still very much the same thing. So this is the definition. It says a stock warrant represents the right to purchase a company's stock at a specific price and at a specific date. The stock warrant is issued directly by a company to an investor. The stock options are purchased when it is believed that the price of a stock will go up or down. Stock options are typically traded between investors. So what we have here is that AMC pretty much brokered a deal with Hycroft to purchase these warrants for $1.07. Okay, but this is prior to this news breaking. So it really didn't matter to AMC whether the stock went up or down. Obviously, for financial reasons, you're hoping the stock goes up, but they're really unaffected by it either way because the deal has already been locked in at this time. So this is a really good deal for AMC. So let's go back and take a look at this chart right here, and now we can begin to answer some questions as to whether or not this was a good deal for AMC. We know that it was a good deal for Hycroft. Now we're finding out that it was also a win-win situation for both companies to come together and partner here. Even though the sample size is less than 30 days here, right now, AMC could really sell half its position because it's pretty much doubled its initial, it has doubled its initial investment into this company. And if it even sold off half of them and just let the other half run, I mean, basically, there's no way they could lose. Now, I haven't heard of AMC selling any of the warrants or any of the shares. That's not to say that they won't do that. But as of right now, I haven't heard anything. If you have, please comment down below to let me know exactly what AMC's intentions are. And if I find out anything, certainly I'll bring it back to you guys as well. Now, we're going to read a little bit here. It says the strength of Spider-Man, No Way Home, and Batman, as well as 2022's promising industry box office, heightens AMC's entertainment conviction that we are on a glide path to recovery. Now, these were all pretty much big hits at the movie theater. Certainly love Spider-Man, and I'm sure I haven't seen the other two movies there, but I'm sure that they did quite well as in Batman. I'm sure that they also did well, right? So AMC is basically saying, or I don't want to say flexing at this point, but I guess you could say that they're feeling pretty confident that they're on the pathway to recovery, and they've almost said as much, right? So that's a good thing for AMC. Now, the question that I have here is that AMC was struggling just like Hycroft Mining was. Hycroft Mining was near bankruptcy right after COVID hit, and AMC was also near bankruptcy right after COVID hit. So let's take a look and see here why and how AMC was able to do what they did. And the reason why AMC was successful in making this investment into Hycroft is because if you remember, during its lows, AMC cashed in on what they call the meme stock mania, raising more than $587 million. It says the theater chain altogether raised more than $1.2 billion in capital this quarter, thanks in part to the Reddit traders, but caution that the stock could still sink. Okay, which it fluctuated often back and forth like this, which is one of the typical tendencies that this stock will do. So they were able to take that cash raise or some of the money from that cash raise and invest it into Hycroft. Okay, now Hycroft has already turned out to be a good investment for AMC up until this point. Now, it says here that the company's move have been met with wild response among market watchers who have described the move as random, bizarre, and stupid because the company still has more than $5 billion of debt on its books. Okay? Now, it says that Leawood, Kansas, which is the corporate office for where the company is located, it says the company now wants to become an incubator of sorts and invest in companies on the verge of bankruptcy, a situation it narrowly escaped just over a year ago. Well, I'm not so for sure that is the reason why you invest in companies. I'm not even so for sure that AMC should have been investing in Hycroft Mining. Okay, now I can Monday morning armchair quarterback this thing and look at hindsight and say, you know, what you should have done. But at the end of the day, regardless of the criticism and negativity surrounding this particular investment by AMC, they have proven actually to be right in this particular situation. And the reason why is that their investment has more than doubled. Okay, so anytime you can double your investment in less than 30 days, I'm going to have to say that they are proven to be a winner so far in this situation. Now, what they do down the road, or how long they're planning to hold this particular stock, I have no idea. But I do know that at this exact moment, they are basically going to be winners in this thing as of right now. And it looks to me going forward, it may pan out to be a great decision on their behalf. That being said, the CEO, Aron, has a plan. And it states right here in his plan that there's three things. It states right here that number one, investing in the infrastructure of its core business, which is movie theaters, that's number one. Number two is paying off its debt. So it looks to me like that he's already forward thinking about the $5 billion in debt that he's going to try and get taken care of. And number three, investing in mergers and acquisitions for AMC's future. Well, I can certainly understand why he would want to do that. And the reason why I say that is right now, AMC pretty much has all of its eggs in one basket. And the basket drops, which it did during COVID, and we saw the outcome of that, which is basically they were near bankruptcy and out of business, looking for someone basically to infuse them with cash. Thank goodness that people like retail investors like me and you came along, lifted them up. Now, we made money also in the process, and we're happy about that. But they also basically were able to stay in business due to retail investors like me and you for the most part. So let's take a look here what I mean when I say that that they pretty much are still in business. Well, let's go back here just on right here, and we can take a look here at AMC here at around $3.19. This was on March 20th, 2020. Okay, so the stock was really at pretty much the bottom here. And as you can begin to see here where the stock basically made its ascent here back to the top. And as you can see, the stock pretty much trading at some $59 here on January 18th, 2021. Now, this is the whole meme stock mania that took over, that basically took the stock to levels, you know, that's debatable as to whether or not the stock should ever have been that high is debatable. I certainly enjoyed the ride along with a lot of other people, and we made some good money. So, all's well ends well here, right? Now, why is it that that AMC is important to a lot of people going forward? Well, let's take a look here. AMC is getting ready to report its earnings. And on its earnings, you can see here that there's going to be an announcement here on May the 5th of this year. Now, what is AMC up against right now? The consensus EPS forecast for the quarter that's coming up is minus 42 cents, which is going to be $1 better than the minus 142 a year ago this time. Okay, so that's what they're up against. Now, do I believe that that AMC is going to beat these estimates on top and bottom line numbers? Well, I have no idea. I'm just like you. I'm trying to figure out, do research and analytics as to whether or not this stock can actually accomplish that. But here's an article right here. It says on the positive side, the firm's revenue is increasing as the economy reopens, but AMC's revenue is still below its pre-pandemic levels. Now, and the company remains unprofitable. They're getting close, but they're still unprofitable. Until those two situations changes, investors should continue to avoid owning AMC stock. Well, that's yes and that's no. And I'm going to get into why there's a yes and a no here and not a definitive here. Okay. Now, on the other hand, there's no question that AMC's revenue is increasing in AMC's most recent quarter. Its revenue jumped more than 53% in Q3 to 1.17 billion, and its Q3 sales were 71% above the quarter before that. Now, while the movie theater owners' Q4 earnings per share were 40% higher than Q3, AMC's revenue is now within shouting distance of the 1.45 billion in sales that the company recorded last quarter before the pandemic. So they certainly are basically on the rise, and it looks to me like they're kind of turning things around. Now, we can all say that these are fabulous numbers and everything just looks great and the stock's about to soar, but what exactly are we comparing it to and where exactly did it come from? I mean, this company's stock was beaten down so bad that, it wouldn't take much for it to beat a previous quarter. So let's make sure we keep that in mind when we basically start looking at this company and start investing and using our hard-earned dollars to basically put to work here. Now, I said all of that to say this right here when I said that there's a yes and a no. AMC is always battling. They're always battling not just people who are investors like me and you who want to see the company do well because we want to invest and we want to lift the stock up to make money, but they're also battling those bears, and those bears are called the short interest gurus out there who basically crunch numbers and what I call pick on companies to basically send their stock price plummeting. Okay, and they have the power to do that. So you never know what you're going to get with AMC. Let's take a quick look at the screen here. Fintel basically shows that the short interest is 104,488,000 shares being shorted. The short interest float on this thing is over 20%. That is astronomical amount of shares being shorted here. Now, recently, the retail investors had their way with the short interest gurus out there, and they lost a lot of money, okay, because they had to pay up. Well, unfortunately, they don't stop. One victory is not enough to get them to leave your stock alone, in this case, AMC. They just keep on coming back, okay? So that being said, let's take a look at this right here. The reason why I say AMC is a mixed bag for me, and the reason why I'm on the sideline personally right now and I'm not investing in AMC right now is if you look on the screen here, there's a chart and it's going to kind of break it down. So if you see right here, this is about, I guess you could say a 30-day like a 10 or 12-day look back period here. And I'm just going to kind of go from left to right here. So this is dated 3/21 here, 2022. AMC stock opened at $15.69. The high on it for the intraday was $16.55, and the low intraday was $15.27. Now, the stock itself closed at $15.86. The volume on it was $34,256,000. Now, I'm not going to just go through each and every one of these right here, but I'm using this as a clear example as to the volatility within the stock and what makes this stock almost uninvestable when it comes to someone like me. Okay, this stock trades. The volume on it and the swings on this stock is really unbelievable, and depending on what side of the coin you're on, is going to determine how long you can actually take that. As they say, to be in some companies, you got to have diamond hands. And paper hands are just not going to work with a stock like this right here. This is not for the faint at heart. You're going to have to be a serious investor to basically play this game and be in this particular stock. Let's take a look at some of the other dates here. As you can see right here, we jumped from $34 million in volume up to $170 million in volume, okay? And this is all in a matter of 2 days. These are the highs and lows and the swings of this particular stock, right? Now, if you own this stock here at $15.69, it jumps to $18.75 in a matter of 2 days. This is a tremendous swing here. Then it goes from $18 to $20 on 3/24, just 1 day later. Now we're back down here, and now this is the real kicker here for me. Look on 3/28, the stock goes from $20.61 to an intraday high of $34.33. We're talking about almost a $14 climb in a single afternoon. One single day, a stock climbed almost $14. It basically opened at $20.61. It basically closed at $29.33. And look at the volume. 226,704,000 shares traded on just a single day, from all the way down here from 34 million on 3/21, trading at basically in volume on 3/29 of 212 million. No, the company basically didn't report anything. The company didn't come out and say that they beat their top and bottom line numbers on revenue. This is just practically on just the company existing. This is, again, this is the life of a trader who basically wakes up in the morning and say, I own AMC stock. This goes with the territory. So, so again, as they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Well, I can tell you right now, the heat's always on in this particular kitchen with this particular stock. So make sure that if you're going to go in with this particular stock, make sure you know what you're going to get yourself into. And that is that there's an opportunity. Yes, and all of what I just said, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to make money with all of these highs and with all of these lows. That being said, on 4/1 to close of Friday, this stock closed down at $22.34. Boy, I really hate it for those who bought in here at $34.33, okay? Because if you bought in at this number and it closed at this number, you are not a happy camper. But guess what? With this particular stock, when the bell hits on Monday and this thing opens up, this stock may be at $60 a share. It may be at $50 a share. So there's good news. Don't feel bad. I mean, just hang in there and wait a couple more days and it'll be right back above what you paid for, okay? That being said, I cannot willingly bless this company right now at this time in regards to investing for a normal investor, okay? A long-term investor, I'm saying no. I'm staying on the sidelines. You can certainly do what you want to do with this particular company, but right now the fluctuations are just a little bit too much for me unless we can basically get back to some of these lows that I mentioned earlier. Down here would be nice. Even if we can just get, somewhere over in here around the $13 range, which is where we were on January the 29th. Maybe I'll revisit it. Maybe I'll take a look at it then. But even at $23.30, that's a little bit too rich and too steep for me. But I have certainly invested in this company in the past. I never was a long-term investor. I always did basically day trading or swing trading with this company. So I'm going to say this right here. If you're looking to get into this company, wait for a pullback, at least leg into it with a small amount of money just in case, so that you don't get burned if the stock drops on you, okay? Always know, always know your limitations. Know your downside risk. I say make sure before you enter any stock, you have an entry point and you got an exit strategy. The exit strategy should be, what am I willing to lose? If you're going to play this game with this particular company, knowing the risks that are involved here, you need to know what is it that you stand to lose. How much are you willing to risk? Minimize your downside risk by using, stop losses. Okay, but the best thing to do is that if you're really unsure, move on to the next one. Okay, but I'm going to basically be monitoring the situation because I am a day trader and a swing trader and an investor. It just depends on what the investment is and my confidence level in that particular stock. So if I can get a pullback to a decent level that's comfortable for me, then I will certainly be looking to get back into AMC and make some money. But right now, I'm just going to basically sit on the sidelines, watch this thing play out, and I'll be rooting for all of you guys who basically have your money in AMC. Well, I pretty much said all I needed to say here. If you got anything out of this video, if there was one thing that you learned, please like and subscribe to my video, to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.